booktube. I hope you're reading all the bookish things. Today I'm coming to you with a kind of unique video idea. I'm always looking for new ways to recommend some of my favorite books. And so today I'm going to be recommending you some books based on random emojis that I get based off this random emoji generator that I've pulled up online. Yes, a random emoji generator is a thing, and it's what I'm going to be using in this video. If you guys enjoy it, leave it a like. More importantly, leave it a comment. Subscribe for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And now let's get on into the video. So the first emoji is the teary-faced emoji. So that obviously means one that made me cry. It is not the phone artist, which is probably what you're expecting. No, it is Frankly Love by David Yoon. This book is about high school senior Frank Lee, who considers himself a limbo, which basically means he thinks he's between a rock and a hard place, between his parents' expectations of who he will be and who he will marry, namely a Korean girl, his California upbringing, and who he wants to be as a person. And so obviously Frank falls in love with a white girl named Britt Means, and so he and another limbo who faces a similar predicament, Joy Song, devise a fake dating scheme so that they can go out with the people they want to while their parents not knowing. And so Frank thinks he's got it all figured out, until something goes wrong and he has himself questioning if he knows anything about love at all. This book, yes, made me cry. It's funny at times and it gets serious and it just hits you like all the feels. The chapter titles are so funny, but then you get into the chapters and it's about race and culture and the education system. Overall, it's just an amazing, heartfelt book. And if you buy the hardcover, do you see those spray painted edges? They're spray painted and they're beautiful. Alright, so that was better than the poop emoji. The laughing emoji, well, the crazy laughing emoji. And so, do I want to pick a rom-com or just an overall funny book that's not really serious at all? I mean, this book has funny in the name, but it also talks about suicide. I think I will have to go with a middle grade. And so I'll go with The Wild Robot by Peter Brown. It's been such a long time since I've read this book, and so I don't really remember what it's about. But I do know that it's about a talking robot named Roz, who finds himself stranded on a desert island, and so he makes friends with the animals that live on it, and so slowly the island starts to feel like home until the robot's past starts to get up to her. I don't know why I'm saying him. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've read this book, guys. I even forgot the robot's gender. But other than, of course, being about this robot, it's overall just a really calming book. When you look at the summary, it just makes you laugh out loud. It's about this talking robot who makes friends with talking animals on a deserted island. And the entire book just has you laughing out loud at some of the preposterous things that happen in this book. And I don't really remember what it is supposed to talk about. If it's supposed to talk about any important themes. It's a little story about friendship. It's just a really, really fun story. And I don't think I've recommended this book in my videos ever. It's just been lying on my bookshelf. So there you go. The Wild Robot, Peter Brown. It's also a really quick book and it has brilliant illustrations. Alright, so we're 2 for 2 on great emojis. What in the world is that? Alright, so it kind of looks like a big cat that's like wise beyond their years. So should I look for a story that has a Dumbledore-esque character? The Book Thief, well, this is a big book, by Marcus Zuzak. I'm gonna set it down. Right, so the Dumbledore Sphinx cat-like character, whatever that is, in this story is Liesel's dad, who's just an amazing parental figure who really fosters Liesel. He's not really Liesel's dad. Hans Huberman is Liesel's foster father, and he's just so caring and patient and kind toward Liesel. While Liesel's foster mother is always yelling at her, he always asks for her opinion, and he always just makes her feel important and valid. And he's just wise beyond his years, like the cat emoji or whatever that is. And whenever he's really strict with her, he's not really doing it out of being angry. He's doing it because he wants to teach her a lesson, and it's just coming out of a place of care from his heart. However, he's also very human and he makes a lot of mistakes through the book. But in the end, he cares about his family, he cares about Liesel, and he really makes Liesel the girl she becomes. Alright, we've been on a good run. Another crying emoji. No. Happy emoji! Just straight up happy. Smile. Yes. And so I'm going to go with Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Eliarson. This book is about Dante and Aristotle. Obviously, Ari has a hard time with words and really suffers with self-doubt. Well, Dante is very self-assuring and confident in himself, and so when Ari and Dante meet at the pool, they immediately foster a special bond that helps them both break down their individual bonds. And it's just a book about family, about friendship, and identity. And if you've heard anything about Benjamin Alire Sands from A Clockwork Reader, who is the one that really champions this book, it's that his writing style is very simple but so poetic at the same time. The chapters really do fly by, and the characters are just so real. And the entire book just has you smiling and seeing how these characters progress and learn about each other. And while there are a lot of sad points, you also get just so much laughter from this book. You really do fall in love with these characters. So the next emoji is like the surprise face emoji with the raised eyebrow. So I'm going to go with the book that I was really surprised that I liked. Sadie by Courtney Summers. I don't really read YA thriller or mysteries. The first one I ever read was One of Us is Lying. And although I did like that book, it wasn't good enough to really get me into the YA thriller genre. But once I read Sadie, which I wasn't even planning on reading, but got it free at my library a couple months ago, I completely fell in love with YA thrillers because you can explore so many moral gray areas and these psychopaths that tell these stories. And I also fell in love with the mystery and why, because I've always liked watching conspiracies, and so I really want to see it done in a young adult setting. And Sadie even inspired a whole video where I talked about 5 young adult thriller / mystery books that I wanted to read. And so if it inspired a whole video, you know it's probably a good book. And Sadie definitely surprised me with how much I liked it. The next emoji is like the kissing a heart emoji, like the kiss a heart away. But I'm going to go with the story that's just like completely rom-com. Not that hard to find in YA. So I'm going to go with Eleanor and Park by Rain Morrell. Now this book isn't necessarily a rom-com, but why I think this book satisfies the emoji is because it doesn't really talk about anything other than romance. It does have some family issues, but other than that, it just talks about love and teen love. And so that's why I chose this particular book out of all the YA books, which all have some form of romance in them, for this emoji. Now, if you do not know what Eleanor and Park is, you have been living under a rock. It's one of the most popular YA books in the history of YA. But it's about Eleanor and Park, who are these two like star-crossed lovers who are both misfits in the 1980s. We know that a relationship between them will probably not work out, but are brave enough and desperate enough to try. And so this book is all about that romance, and we get to see both Eleanor and Parks' perspectives throughout the entire book. And I really enjoyed this book. Not enough to make it an all-time favorite, but I can definitely see where the hype is from, because it is a very solid book. Rain Morrell's writing style is very effective and unique. She doesn't try to make a story more than what it is. And although there were a lot of scenes I liked in this book, it just overall was not my type of book. But yeah, for the rom-com emoji, I don't even know why I'm calling it that now. Alright, so the next emoji is the thinking emoji. It's like this. And so I'm going to go with a thought-provoking read. I already made a video about 5 thought-provoking reads, so I'm going to choose one that I did not mention in that video. And that'll be a recent read of mine. It's actually the last book I read, and that is Because You Love to Hate Me by 13 famous authors and 13 famous booktubers. And I did not expect to like both the stories and the booktubers' essays coming in. Being honest here, I love all of these booktubers, but some of the essays actually read like English literature essays rather than supporting the story. But all the author stories were really thought-provoking on what really makes a villain and what really constitutes good or evil. And some of the booktubers' essays like Poem Bananas Books and Jesse the Readers and Read by Zoe's really made you think about what the story was talking about. And I don't think you will ever read a short story anthology just like this one. Each one looked at villainy through a different lens, and altogether the book was just super fascinating. The last emoji is the one where the tongue is made of money, and so I could just take that as someone who is bathing in all the monies, but instead I'm going to go with the book that has a character that you might think has a perfect life, but really is feeling really anxious and mad with the world. And that is It's Kind of a Funny Story by Ned Vazine. This book follows Craig, who goes to this really fancy New York school and is determined to succeed at life until homework and just a lot of other factors create an unbearable pressure on himself, and he starts to become anxious every single day. And so he checks himself into a mental hospital where he finds out so many things about himself and meets new friends and learns that a person is more than the sum of their parts. This book obviously is about a person who you might think on the outside has everything going for them, but in reality almost commits suicide and has to check himself into a mental hospital. Alright, so yeah, that was book recommendations based on emojis. Leave in the comments below which recommendation was your favorite, or which emoji you guys want me to react to if I ever do a part 2 of this. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave it a like. More importantly, leave it a comment. Subscribe for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And then I will see you next time with another video. Bye. Alright guys, while I was editing this video, I accidentally deleted permanently one of the emojis I used, but it was the shocked poop emoji, and so I had to choose a book that I was shocked was so poop. So I chose Everything because the ending was just so horrible. I'm not going to go into it right now because obviously spoilers, but I loved the book until the ending, and then it just immediately went to like a 3-star, 2-star read. Alright, bye.